we have so many 5-inch prop options that you really can't go wrong as long as you choose something from the last about 2 years. It really matters more what quad you're putting it on, what motor you're putting it on, how you're intending to use the prop, and what you expect the prop to do. That stuff matters a lot more than the actual prop itself. There is no one perfect prop. It just depends on what you want the prop for. Again, that being said, there are a number of excellent props from the last 2 years. And to me, these new recent wave of props that are coming out actually do feel like a significant improvement to me. I test everything, constantly, nonstop, back and forth. But I don't expect everybody out there to feel the difference, and a lot of you probably will not. You just sort of need to choose the subset of features that you want the prop to have. Let's talk about the most direct competitor to this prop, which is going to be the Gemfan 51433. Both of these props are fantastic, and both of them feel very, very similar to the HQ S4 and the S5 blade. In fact, I would bet that a number of people, a good percentage of people, probably would not be able to tell the difference between the 51433, the S4, and the S5. Maybe they'll be, I mean, it's pretty obvious if the S5 is a little bit more powerful, but other than that, you can't really tell much difference between the 51433, the S4, and the S5. The HQ props are great. They have fantastic response. They're very predictable in the sense that you can definitely tell that the S5 has more power than the S4. However, the S4 has better low throttle control and has a little bit better response. And going down to the S3, you get even better response, less speed, and more low throttle control. So that lineup of props is really super predictable. The reason I prefer the Gemfan prop, the 51433, is pretty much just because it's more efficient. It just gives me a lot more flight time when I need it. And so that's my choice, and it feels exactly like the S4. Maybe it's a teensy bit quicker. So that's about the 51433. And I also made another video about the 51433 previously as well. So now let's talk about the Nepal one. And something is very special about this prop that you may or may not actually want, and it may or may not actually be that important anymore today. So if you take a look at the design of the blade, you may notice that it looks sort of reminiscent of the Johnny prop. The Johnny prop is made by Azure, and Azure has been making this kind of sort of bent, broken looking blade airfoil for quite some time now. What's special about the Johnny prop is that it seems to have this incredible smoothing effect when you try to mix your roll, pitch, and yaw. You don't really see that robotic movement of if your sticks don't fully coordinate when you're moving your fingers around. And that is a really super nice feature. However, in more recent times, with the more recent Emu Flight build, as well as Betaflight 4.1, and I bet Flight 1 as well, the flight code is so good at interpreting what you're trying to do on the sticks that it's so much smoother than it was even just a couple of months ago. So that kind of effect of smoothing is not really as important anymore. On top of that, if you're trying to do cinematic stuff, you're probably using at least the Hyper Smooth built into the GoPro, if not Real Steady Go. So really it doesn't matter all that much, except for the fact that if you give Real Steady Go nicer footage, it can do a better job, and it also looks nicer to you when you are piloting, and it's just easier overall to control things because you feel like you're doing a better job and you kind of feel more in the zone and with it. So compared to the 51433, this Nepal one has just the touch better smoothing kind of feel to it. Not as strong as the Johnny prop, but it does definitely feel like that. That being said, it is a much more flimsy blade than the 51433. The weight of these two props are the same, and the downside to the Nepal one versus the 51433 is that it is a slower prop, definitely. And I bet it's going to be a little bit less efficient as well. And I haven't tested these two against each other enough to be able to talk on the efficiency. I do know that both of them are very, very similar, and both of them are better than the HQ props, the S4 and the S5, and definitely the S3. S3 is probably the least efficient of all 5 of these props that I'm talking about. But once you get past basically the S4 prop or the S5 prop, once you get efficiency level above those two, which these two are, it really doesn't really matter so much because both of them are performing really similarly. I can't say if the softer plastic in the blade is causing any problems at all, but I can say that the throttle feel of the 5143 of the Nepal 1 does feel like it is a little bit softer than the 51433. And if you look at the, if I can show you, if you look at the blade profile, the 51433 actually looks like it has a shallower pitch down near the hub than the Nepal 1. And the Nepal 1 looks like it's shallower, maybe out at the end a little bit. Hard to really say, hard to tell between these two props. They both look very, very similar. If I had to guess, I would say that the 51433 looks like it's a shallower pitch. It's just pretty curious that the Nepal 1 is not nearly as fast or powerful as the 51433. It's a pretty obvious difference between the two. But I love both of these props equally. I mean, I use them both interchangeably. If I'm running 4S, I probably use 4S on my 6S cinematic quad. I'm going to use the 51433 because it gives me a little bit more power. If I'm going to run 6S, I'm definitely going to use the Nepal 1 because I definitely don't need to go 85, 90 miles per hour chasing who knows what. I mean, what out there goes 90 miles per hour unless it's like a racing car or a racing motorcycle or something. We're never chasing anything really that fast. We don't need to go that fast. Now, the other things I want to talk about, I discussed in the 51433 video, and I'll discuss once again on this video. Oh yeah, another thing, these two blades have exactly the same weight. The description of the Nepal 1 says it's like 3.7 grams. It's not. They're both exactly 3.78 grams. I've weighed about 40 of them together and divided that number. 3.78 grams is the number I got. Both of them are exactly the same weight. They both feel very, very similar response as well. They're so similar. You really just have to try the two and see for yourself which one you like. Now, regarding the rest of it, I don't think that this prop needs more than a 2306 motor. You can put it on a bigger motor than that, but you're not going to be getting anything more out of the prop. The motors I'm running here and the motors I ran in the video, the flight video, these are 2306.5. I'm not a fan of 2306.5 at all. I don't think it's necessary. You don't need it. You're not getting any benefit from it. It's just killing your battery life a little bit more, and the motor weighs a little bit more. What matters more than the specific prop that you choose is what motor you put it on and how you intend to use it. Like I said at the beginning, the way I intend to use this prop and what I feel like it's intended for is very smooth, controlled, freestyle, or cinematic footage. And that's what I think these 5 props that I've been discussing are very, very good for. Now, you can obviously use them for racing or whatever you want, but that's the intention of the prop. That's what they designed it for. They designed these props for a 2306. They work great on 2207 and 2208 as well. I personally, more recently, prefer the 2306 motors because they don't have as much of that wobble effect when you let off the gas, and that's just annoying, and I don't want to have to deal with it. That's it. I'm not really going to discuss more. I have so much to discuss with the cinematic frame that I'll leave it at that for now. Pick up both of these props. They're both available, and have fun. Fly them both. I'm sure you're going to enjoy trying to figure out which one's which when you fly them. Floss your teeth. Bye-bye.